Jorge Martin walked into the Aprilia garage in Barcelona, sarcastically clapped at his own crew, and then physically shoved his team manager Paolo Bonora on live international television. This is the 2024 World Champion. This is the rider Aprilia signed on a multi-year deal in under 24 hours when Ducati's offer collapsed. The rider Massimo Rivola personally pushed Piaggio to green light. The rider Aprilia rebuilt their entire 2025 project around, and it took 90 seconds inside a pit box for all of that history to look like a problem instead of an investment. So why did Aprilia let it happen on camera? And why does this single moment matter more than the crash that caused it? Because the story everyone is telling, frustrated rider, bad weekend, heat of the moment, is the soft version. It is also the wrong one. Martin did not lose a race in Barcelona. He lost his leverage. And the people standing in that garage when he shoved Bonora were the same people who 12 months ago treated him as the centerpiece of Aprilia's entire future. What you just watched on television is not a tantrum. It is a manufacturer learning in public exactly what it bought. Start with the trigger. Martin was running second on the opening lap of the final restart, 2 points off Marco Bezzecchi in the championship, on a circuit where he had been the fastest factory Aprilia all weekend despite 4 previous crashes. Then Raul Fernandez, a Trackhouse Aprilia rider on a satellite bike, went up the inside at turn 5 and put him in the gravel. No penalty. The stewards ruled Martin had not yielded sufficiently to a valid overtake, so a factory rider chasing the championship lead got taken out by his own manufacturer's customer team and walked away with nothing. That is the version the broadcast covered. What happened next was not on the broadcast feed at all. What the headlines did not cover happened during the race, not after it. Aprilia CEO Massimo Rivola, a man who spent a decade at Ferrari, including 3 years running the F1 driver academy that produced Charles Leclerc, walked across the paddock to the Trackhouse pit box mid-race to confront Davide Brivio about Fernandez's move, on camera, posted by MotoGP's own official account. That is not normal. CEOs do not march into rival garages in the middle of races. They send team managers. They send PR people. They wait until Monday. Rivola did it himself, in real time, in front of the cameras. So when Martin parked his bike and walked into his own garage, the temperature in there was already at boiling point before he took his helmet off. And this is where it stops being about a crash. Martin clapped sarcastically at his own team. Then he pushed Bonora, the man whose entire job is to manage Martin's relationship with Aprilia, out of his way. Bonora was not blocking him. Bonora was trying to calm him down. Martin pushed him anyway. We know this because Martin admitted it the same afternoon. I pushed him a bit. I was so frustrated about the situation. Read that quote again. He is not denying it. He is qualifying it. A bit, because of frustration. As if the volume matters when the act is a factory rider laying hands on his own team manager. And oh yeah, there is one more part of this that nobody is connecting. 1 week earlier, after Martin's double win at Le Mans, Rivola was asked on the record whether Aprilia could realistically convince Martin to stay past 2026. His answer, that would be really nice, but I think Jorge made his choice a long time ago, and honestly, I don't blame him. That quote did not come out after the shove. It came out a week before it. The Aprilia CEO had already publicly admitted on the record that the relationship was over. He just did not know yet that his own rider would prove him right in 7 days. Because Martin is leaving. The race has confirmed he is moving to Yamaha for 2027. That is the context every single person inside that Aprilia garage was operating under when Martin walked in and shoved Bonora. They were not managing their long-term star. They were managing a man who had already told them, in private and in conduct, if not in press release, that he was gone. And he just made the public version of that decision unavoidable. Yamaha now have 10 months to figure out which Jorge Martin they actually signed, the 2024 champion, or the rider who shoved a team manager on camera the moment a race did not go his way. Now look at what happened around him. Bezzecchi, The rider Rivola signed almost as an afterthought next to the Martin announcement, keeps the championship lead. Bezzecchi crashed too in qualifying. Bezzecchi finished fourth on Sunday after penalties reshuffled the order. He did not shove anyone. He did not clap sarcastically. He walked into the garage, took the helmet off, and got back to work. The contrast is not subtle. The contrast was probably the only thing being discussed in the Aprilia hospitality that evening, and the man currently leading the MotoGP championship is the one who is not leaving, the one Aprilia were never sure they could keep up with Ducati to sign. People thought this was about a crash with Fernandez. It was really about which Aprilia rider just made the manufacturer's 2027 decision for them. Because here is what the shove did that the crash did not. The crash was bad luck and bad stewarding. The shove was character. And in MotoGP, factories tolerate bad luck for years. They do not tolerate riders putting hands on team managers in front of cameras. One fan compared Martin's outburst to Alex Espargaro, the rider Martin replaced at Aprilia, famous for emotional collapses in the same garage. That is the comparison being made inside the paddock, not just on Twitter. Martin did not just have a bad afternoon. He turned himself into the problem Aprilia thought they had solved when Alex retired. Make no mistake about what this costs him beyond Aprilia. Yamaha is watching. The 2027 rider market is watching. Every principal who was quietly working out how to pry Martin loose now has to factor in a separate question. What kind of rider is he when the bike does not cooperate? The answer in Barcelona was, the kind who shoves the people paying him. This is why the apology lands differently from a normal MotoGP apology. Martin did not just say sorry. He said he could not find Bonora afterwards. That Bonora was not in his office when Martin went looking. The team manager left. That detail is the entire story compressed into one line. Bonora did not stay to receive the apology in person. He went home. So what does the next round in Mugello look like for Aprilia? Bezzecchi leading the championship as the manufacturer's clearly preferred rider. Martin counting down the months until Yamaha. Rivola pretending the shove never happened in press conferences. And every single rival principal in pit lane knowing that the rider they are bidding for has a documented breaking point and a fixed price now that everyone has seen it. Martin did not end his Aprilia career in Barcelona. That was already over. He ended the version of himself that other manufacturers were willing to pay a premium for. Was the shove the moment the championship slipped, or the moment the market did? Let us know in the comments below. And once you do that, make sure to click on the video appearing on your screen right now.